What is up, Mav fans and hoop heads? Whichever one good vibes out there. I'm AG, your host. Welcome on in to another episode of Mavs Rundown. I appreciate you all for listening. And I am out of town right now. We are celebrating our Thanksgiving early because, I'm going to be working. A lot of us, a lot of y'all out there might be working on the holidays. So, yeah, was definitely driving during this game. But was able to keep up and able to watch the last quarter in peace at my destination. But what a great game by the Mavs. They come out on top 104-99 against the Minnesota Timberwolves in a rematch in the mini series back to back. Mavs, seesaw back to 500. That's a good note. Definitely don't want to fall below, or further below. So good to at least keep your head above water. And honestly, don't have too many notes because of all the driving. So the stuff I did see, I just kind of try to jot down those type of notes. But basically, let's go ahead and get into just who was playing tonight. From the Mavericks, no Maxey, obviously. Josh Green still not back. And tonight we had no Dodo. So no Dodo and Maxey and Green. That's a lot of defense that we're missing. So that was definitely a concern going into this game for sure. On Minnesota's end, they actually got Rudy Gobert back, but no cat, no meow. He didn't do shit, anyways. But he wouldn't have. Anyway, but yeah, he wasn't in there. In the first quarter, actually the Timberwolves held their own with all this. That they still showed their upside from last game, but hey, the Mavs were actually in this bad boy. Mavs actually played a really good first quarter, 31-29. T-Wolves were up, but Mavs offense was kind of clicking. It was just kind of defensively, kind of had to get some things together. But T-Wolves were making some tough shots. Got to give them that. Anthony Edwards was making some pull-ups tonight. I mean, he's just gonna be a monster, when he gets older and figures out what he's doing out there. Halftime, Timberwolves were up though, 52-51. Luka had 15, 4 and 6. Seawood 10 and 4. Spencer had 8, 2 and 2, and Timmy had 6. And just this, I wrote all these down because it shows how even distributed the offense was. Because it was like different guys just getting. Luka's still picking his spots, but also Seawood was getting involved. You got Spencer still getting involved. Tim still a little bit at this point was just like still a little bit involved. It's just a good mixture you've seen going so far, like a flow of the game type feel that the Mavs really had going. Everybody was getting their shots where they needed a bunch of and-ones and stuff. It was really good to see. At halftime, though, Mavs were 26% from three, and the T-Wolves were 38. I just want you to remember that for later on. But, yeah, Mavs shooting obviously terrible from three. T-Wolves able to shoot, a good percentage. And, both were around 47, 48% from the field. So it's like, the three ball really not falling for the Mavs. Heard that before. I think and at the end of the third quarter, Mavs were up by one. I think it was 75-74. Might be wrong on that score, but I know the Mavs were up by one at the end of the third. They started picking it up. And then the fourth quarter, man, if y'all missed this fourth quarter, go back and watch this fourth quarter. Man, this gets you all giddy with excitement over, especially with the holiday season. Because this fourth quarter, the Mavs lit it up. It was really dope to see. We only had 104, but man, if you're watching our offense, it was really big. We had Spencer hit two big threes, had Timmer hit two big threes, and then we had Reggie Bullock, who wouldn't. I don't even think he made a shot till the fourth quarter. Hit two threes in the fourth. Like, it was awesome to see. Obviously not in that order. I think it was Spencer, and then it was two by Tim, and then two by Reggie, and then one more by Spencer a little bit later on, or something like that. But anyway, the threes were just raining down in the fourth. It was good to see, and of course, that right at the little bit in it, I forgot what time mark it was, but it was at the end of the game. Luka hits a midi. That was basically essential to seal it up. It was like a crossover, pull up, mid range jumper, and he, step back, and he got it on him. I think it was a step back, but it was a midi, and he sealed it up. He knocked it down, nothing but net, and that pretty much sealed it up right there because then it turned into the foul game. Of course, they go down, they miss a shot, they foul us, we get free throws, yada yada, and the game ends up being over. So Mavs come out with a win, 104-99. As I said, really awesome to see. Luka finishes with 25. Here, let me get this down. With 25, 9, and 10. Spencer with 19, 4 and 3. Timmy with 21 tonight. 3 and 1, by the way. He was 6 of 13 from the field, 4 of 10 from 3. Seawood had 12, 5 and 1. He struggled a little bit offensively, 5 of 12 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3, but still, made great contributions, without the, throughout the game. Had a great block, great defense this game. Honestly, this whole team played great defense. As I said, we missed those key players, but those key defensive players, but Mavs really played with some urgency and on a string together tonight. So it's good to see that this, the rest of the roster can still play some defense, if they just try, essentially. Another big thing I didn't even mention at the start, the starters tonight. Seawood started tonight, and it was crazy because Dwight Powell is healthy and he played, but he came off the bench. So Jason Kidd made a conscious effort to not start Dwight Powell and started D Wood. So I think that might be a permanent starting roles moving forward, especially with the way he played defense tonight. How many did he have? How many blocks he had? He had 2 blocks tonight, so great stuff by Seawood. One was really memorable. Good stuff by him. I think he's starting to earn that role, and I think Dwight Powell fits perfectly off the bench as long as Seawood has figured out, how this defense works and knows where to be. I think this works great, perfect scenario for the Mavs because Dwight Powell obviously plays a great role off the bench, or he does really great off the bench. Not just starting, but if you have someone like him coming off the bench, it's even better because he's going against second team guys, so helps him even better. Uh, and especially whenever Maxey is healthy, that Maxey Dwight Powell combination, they're long time. That's such a great duo to have. Uh, and speaking of Maxey, I'd side note, if y'all didn't know, Maxey's gonna be out now for, pretty much the rest of the season. They speculating that like if he's able to come back this year at some point, it would be basically the playoffs. So yeah, that's a big kind of blow to hear. So kind of sucks, but it is what it is, and Mavs are gonna have to just roll forward with it, man. That's our foul that we're getting, or our injury bug that we're kind of getting right now or this year. So we just got to overcome that, man. I can't use it as an excuse, and hopefully the front office helps out. Uh, but yeah, great game by solid game by Luca. Obviously, uh, three ball wasn't going well for him, but good from the field. 8 of 16 from the field. Good to see Spencer show up. 19 points, very efficient game. 6 of 13, 4 of 8 from the field. Uh, who else was about to? Oh yeah, Timmy. And Timmy, of course, whenever he is able to put up at least like over 15, we usually do well. Especially when it's a 20-point game, it's like it's an automatic W. So good to see him get in there. And he doesn't do it just all on threes. He had 7 free throws as well, 5 of 7 from the free throw line. But good stuff by Timmy tonight. Good to see. The bench did well as well. Davis Bertans played in this game. He had 12 minutes off the bench, scored 3 points. Kimball Walker played 20 points. 20 points. He played 20 minutes in this game. Uh, backup guard. He had 4 points. Did some good stuff here and there to help. You know, keep the offense flowing, so to speak. You know how we always wanted that third ball handler or another ball handler out there, especially when like Luka's not in with Spencer. So it's good to see have a Kimball Walker in there to kind of shake things up. Also Frank Ntilikina had 11 minutes, so it's good to see this bench unit actually end up with all pluses. They came in, they did well, and Davis Bertans, man, he's earning his minutes. Like people be like, oh man, he's getting minutes because of this. No, he's earning his minutes because he's playing some hella good defense. Like he's doing freaking awesome on both ends. Of course, he's a sniper. Only took 3 threes tonight, 1 of 3, but he's he's been turning up his defense lately. I just want to give a shout out and give him credit here for that. But yeah, great game by the Mavs. Hot fourth quarter shooting. Uh, Fucking amazing. Oh, and the finishing stat on 3 point line, why I told you remember the stat from halftime. Mavs shot 26% from three. T-Wolves 38. End of the game, Mavs shooting 33% from three, and the T-Wolves went down to 26% from three. So live by the three, die by the three. Pretty crazy. Even though they definitely beat us in paint points still, but hey man, that three ball is Dallas's biggest weapon besides Luka. Also free throws, man. Mavs had 27 free throws tonight compared to only 10 to the T Wolves. So to me, that either shows refs disparity right there, or choosing sides, or to me it also shows, which if you're watching the game, that's what the eye test also shows. The Mavs were being super aggressive tonight. Everybody, Spencer was being aggressive. Kimba when he got in, he was being aggressive. Luka aggressive. Tim aggressive. Uh, Tim definitely aggressive. He had didn't finish. He had a wide open layup on a fast break, or a little bit wide open. I guess he's a little bit small, and he didn't think he was gonna finish. But your NBA players should be able to finish when you're that kind of open. And he dribbled it back out to the corner 3 point line. You're thinking like, oh my gosh, Tim, like dude, you could have had a layup, or at least most people think you would have made it. The guy was kind of behind him, probably could have chased down and blocked him, but if he was a little bit crowded. Anyway, moving forward, he dribbled it back out to the 3 point line, and you're thinking like, oh man, like what are you doing? And then the defender gets all up on him, and he just shoots a three right in his face. The dude's all up on, draped all up over him, like not giving him no room. And you're thinking like, this is that one of those Tim shots where you're like, oh no, and then it goes in. Then you're like, oh man, that dude's oh man, he was feeling it, I guess. Yeah, Tim had a great night tonight, man. Just shout out to him. Good to see him doing well as well, and this Mavs doing well. Yeah, and Dwight Powell in that limited role. I don't know if I mentioned what he did. He had 10 points in his 21 minutes off the bench. 10 points, 6 rebounds in 21 minutes, uh, and 2 steals. Like, dude's just great, especially coming off the bench. I mean, it's just a luxury to have when we got all these different options and stuff. Especially and got some guys out, and then you got JaVale McGee not even playable anymore, which is so crazy. I was definitely one of those. I was like, I thought he'd at least give us something. He would take the Dwight Powell minutes, or play at least these 11, 12 minutes. But this crazy. Anyways, moving forward. So yeah, the Mavs win tonight. Move forward. We play again. Next game before the Christmas game, we play Friday here coming up, December 23rd at Houston. So the team's traveling now, I'm sure, flying here back home here to Texas. That'll be a 7 o'clock game, so y'all ready to check that out before the Sunday game, which is a Christmas game versus LA. So that should be a good one. And not to look too forward ahead, but that next one is also home, and it's versus New York. So Jalen Brunson coming back home. That's gonna be a fun one. But yeah, go Mavs. That's pretty much all I got for you. Yep. Let me go ahead and close out. So yo, if you want to follow on Twitter, it's at Mavs_rundown. The Mavs rundown is free on YouTube, also Spotify. I'm AG. Thanks for listening. Remember, cool heads prevail, and I'll see y'all next time on the Mavs Rundown.